So, I was going to say this at the end of the video, but I'm going to say it up front too, and that's please be nice and constructive in the comments down below, because raging against the machine ain't going to change the machine. And I think that you, of course, can vote with your ticket money, but these things are still going to happen. I mean, I think now there's an argument for what's going to happen after these movies. I'm going to break it all down for you. Don't worry. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it real and also realistic. All right, so yeah, the DCEU is set for a very memorable 2022. So yeah, they're not as prolific as the MCU. We keep saying soon they'll be as prolific as the MCU. It's tough. But what's going on right now is that the DCEU is mid-pivot out of the SnyderVerse and mid-merger. But the merger is not going to be the thing that many of you think it is. Now, obviously, because of the multiverse system that Walter Hamada and company trumpeted at the first DC Fandom, nothing has ever truly gone when it comes to DC movies. But don't let that give you, DC movies and streaming, but don't let that give you false hope either. I mean, it's more of a never say never situation instead of, oh, it's going to happen real soon. Now, Warner Brothers, whoever it's owned by, of course, can choose to focus on whichever corner of the multiverse they want. And they are going to make that decision not only because of behind-the-scenes politics, but what will mostly drive that is where they can make the most money. And remember, Warner Brothers is always motivated by what will make them the most money. And so if they're not doing something, you should think about why maybe that is. All right, so anyway, yes, Discovery is coming in as the new owner of Warner Brothers. And they recognize what a moneymaker DC is for them, as David Zaslav has said publicly, which many of you like to point to. But it's most likely that Discovery will want to bring in their own people who will tell their own DC stories rather than revisit the drama of the SnyderVerse, especially with talent unwilling or unable to come back due to very public friction with the studio. I think it's reached a point where it's not just with the people who are running the studio right now, but with the brand. Some fuck yous are just too great to recover from, and we should focus instead on applauding them as the badass middle fingers out the door that they truly are. All right, so let's move on. We're all moving on, which is literally what the DCEU is doing with this new slate of movies. First up, a TV show, actually. They're only one for the year, even though they have so many in development, and that's Peacemaker. They have an HBO Max movie as well, which we're going to discuss, Batgirl. Now, the Peacemaker series, which is next week, HBO Max has had trouble getting attention for any of their shows, and since the Suicide Squad, which is a shame for some of them are really good, but since the Suicide Squad didn't quite land with the mainstream, there isn't a lot of hype or hope for this show, although, to be fair, it is very well reviewed so far. Gunn can't help himself with tasteless jokes, especially when he's given free rein, and involving kids once again. I can't believe that nobody was like, excuse me, maybe we should make a little change? And it seems that Warner Brothers changed their minds about letting him play with or just said no about letting him play with any big DC characters for guest stars. Peacemaker could be a niche hit, though, like the Suicide Squad, and perhaps streaming is the best home for Gunn's version of these characters. I think the bar is very low for an HBO Max hit, and Peacemaker could meet it. Now, movies. As I said, we're making a big pivot here. With the new Justice League forming, I've heard that the movies need to be released in the following order: Shazam! Fury of the Gods, The Flash, and then Batgirl. But Shazam 2 is right now slated to come out last in June 2023, although it's already been tested with an audience, so don't be surprised if you see a reshuffling of release dates from Warner Brothers for their DC movies, as they also need to get Aquaman 2 away from Black Panther 2, which introduces Marvel's aquatic superstar, Namor, who's going to be extremely competitive, very well designed. So as I tweeted New Year's Day, my most viewed tweet ever with 2 million impressions, talk about a truth bomb, is that The Flash is Ben Affleck's final appearance, which, in the last day or so, he confirmed. Affleck's huge support for the Flash movie, which means support for Warner Brothers, underscores my reporting. And something, again, you should take note of. You got to read between the lines here, man, because this is a very tense situation where very few people are going to come out and say anything because, again, it's been made so political and so dramatic. Sasha Calle's Supergirl and Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne are shifting over to the main DCEU by the end of the Flash movie. Henry Cavill's Superman, which I've told you will be seen only on TV screens in The Flash, will be replaced by Sasha Calle as the DCEU's new Superman character. While Keaton's Wayne will go to work with Black Canary in Gotham, where when Officer Barbara Gordon, I love that change, decides to become Batgirl over on HBO Max, Keaton will take note and decide by the end of that movie to make her the new protector of Gotham, the new Bat Protector of Gotham. It's a twist on Batman Beyond, a development I reported to you way back in July 2020, which many of you did not want to believe. But here it is. The Flash will put together a new Justice League at the very end of his movie with a roster pulled from these films and the upcoming films in 2023, but also new characters yet to be introduced. By the way, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Wonder Woman is making a lot of cameos in 2022. Yes, this does mean an all-female trinity, which again, I've been telling you. And this is for now, but Warner Brothers has had tremendous luck with female characters, and it's not like there won't be plenty of great male characters as well. Also, I've seen fans for decades complain that DC focuses too much on Batman and Superman. So let's see what happens when Warner Brothers decides to focus on DC's many other great characters, right? Although I would feel much better about all of this if Birds of Prey's Christina Hodson wasn't like the main architect of the new DCEU. Who would make that decision? She is scripting both The Flash and Batgirl, which is a giant red flag. I'm scared. All right, so release date-wise for now, let's break it down. First out of the gate is Black Adam, late July 2022, where Dwayne Johnson has been telling you as well that DC's hierarchy of power is about to change. Yes, Dwayne Johnson's ex-wife and business partner, Dani Garcia, is Henry Cavill's agent, and there was hope to get Henry Cavill in here for a throwdown with Dwayne Johnson. But it didn't work out, as Henry Cavill continues to draw a very hard line in the sand for negotiations, which Warner Brothers refuses to meet. It's just a deadline. It's just not going to happen. I think the biggest question with Black Adam is whether or not it will feel like another Dwayne Johnson movie. He has a very strong brand, which has served him well in DC clothing, or whether or not Dwayne Johnson will truly transform into the Black Adam character. The action scenes here will be key. I liked Jungle Cruise a lot, and it did very well. Joan Colette Serra is reteaming with Dwayne Johnson to direct Black Adam. But can a stone-cold anti-hero like Black Adam be the star of a family-friendly movie? Even on a cheat day, The Rock, you can't have your cake and eat it too. We'll see what happens. I thought that the footage shown at this year's DC Fandom looked surprisingly like a family film, which I had not anticipated for a Black Adam movie. But that was just a tease. We have yet to see a really good look at the movie. Next, The Flash, right now set for November 4th, 2022, 1 week before Black Panther 2. That's just stupid. They can't open a week apart. That's insane. And Kevin Feige never blinks. So Warner Brothers is going to have to move. Ironically, will the Flash film be too slow with its own multiverse story after No Way Home and Doctor Strange 2 will have already been released months earlier? Andy Muschietti really delivered with It Chapter 1, but then he really dropped the ball with It Chapter 2. Which movie will the Flash be like? I think that's a big question mark. Fans have, rightfully so, gone crazy over set pics of Michael Keaton back as Bruce Wayne / Batman. I'm so excited! Action scenes here will be key as well. And then there's Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, which should be a slam dunk as the first movie was fantastic and made $1 billion at the box office. But I hear this sequel is so ambitious, it's been a bit tricky pulling it off. While unfortunately the controversy surrounding Amber Heard might make the whole exercise pointless anyway. We'll see how much they cut her roll down. Yet Amber Heard has her supporters as well. So it could be a big problem for the movie if they cut her roll down. It's like, I don't know if there's any way for them to win in this situation. With her in the movie. It's tough. All right, so the first movie was so good. Loved the first Aquaman. So here's hoping James Wan can pull it off again. Between him and Muschietti, the two directors rumored for the new Justice League movie I hear, I would go with Wan. I would still go with Wan, and I would definitely, between those two, I would like. Let's see The Flash, but I would definitely go with James Wan. And then there's the new Batgirl movie debuting on HBO Max with Michael Keaton, right? Blue Beetle got upgraded to theater, so maybe Batgirl will too. Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah knocked it out of the park with Bad Boys for Life. That was such a fun movie. And they, in fact, did such a good job there that Marvel hired them as well to direct some episodes of Ms. Marvel. So they're Marvel and DC. Jacob Scipio from Bad Boys for Life They brought him over, joins this amazing cast. Scipio was a great discovery in that movie. And the cast includes Michael Keaton, Jurnee Smollett's Black Canary, the best character, I thought. Well, I really liked Huntress too in Birds of Prey, but I really came to love Jurnee Smollett's Black Canary. J.K. Simmons, very well cast as Commissioner Gordon, although I do like Jeffrey Wright too. And then Brendan freaking Fraser is Firefly. What a cast. And in the Heights, Leslie Grace as, again, Officer Barbara Gordon, who told fans at this year's DC fandom that she'll have the classic Batgirl look. Sounds theater-worthy to me, or at least a huge hit for HBO Max. I'm very excited about this movie, although it's written by Christina Hodson. Again, I'm scared. Batgirl is about to start filming on location, by the way, so any day now we should get our first look at Leslie Grace in the suit. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. Oh boy, I hope she looks great. I really do. And then, you might be wondering where it is in this video, The Batman, which actually comes out before all these movies in the beginning of October, but is not a DCEU movie. It's separate, much like The Joker, but yet not at all connected to The Joker. I don't know if this multiverse as like a whole, like the multiverse is like a chapter for Marvel, although is that like a Pandora's box? Once you open it, it can't be closed. But I think as a whole business plan for DC, I don't know about this. I mean, as I've said before, I think letting talent do whatever they want instead of having a guiding force executive like Kevin Feige allows for some incredible wins, like The Joker, Oscar-winning movie, and plenty of nominations. But it also allows for some huge flops that just really missed the mark, like Birds of Prey. So, I mean, we'll see. I think The Batman actually, is the best hope for DC movies going forward, and I think there is a strong chance that they might just let Matt Reeves continue to build out of that film, and maybe that'll end up becoming the dominant multiverse. That may, we've seen the shots of like Halloween characters, people dressed up as Superman and Wonder Woman on set. I think if the movie hits, and I think the Batman will hit, it looks really, really good. They might just, what's that? What's Robert Pattinson's? What's his Superman? Who's his Wonder Woman? And that might be their escape hatch. So we'll see. The box office will ultimately decide all of this. So again, instead of being rude to people online on social media, I think, your best bet is to vote with your ticket dollars. So that's the 2022 DCEU slate and the Batman. Share your own polite and constructive thoughts down below. Subscribe today. And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.